Live from Saskatchewan, this is The Sask Show with Lindsay May.
Hey, I'm Lindsay May, and welcome to episode 10 of The Sask Show. This is going to be our final episode of this season. Going to take a break, hiatus. We got Christmas. I got my wedding that I got to go be a part of, and then we'll probably be back at some point in February with some new content for you and some new stuff. But with this show, we are going to take a look at the Sask Stuff. Of course, taking a glance at what these mayors are saying. It's time to end homelessness in Saskatchewan, and a little argument happening in Regina right now. Around the world, a TikToker did something incredible for a senior citizen, and we're going to take a look at some science that totally rules, and it's from right here in Saskatchewan. We'll go out for a rip, of course. All that coming up on The Sask Show.
The Sask Stuff.
So mayors in Saskatchewan are calling upon the government and basically the province to do better when it comes to homelessness in this province, specifically with our housing. We have a ton of empty units, and yet we still have people sleeping on the streets. We're seeing shelters that are completely full. What's going on with the funding? Well, Saskatchewan City's mayors say that about $300 in, social insurance and assistance is not enough for these people, and we need to do better than that. So Saskatchewan mayors think that the provincial government's about 3,000 vacant housing units could be part of the solution by actually filling it with those who need homes so they're not in tents over the winter time. Meanwhile, we're seeing a massive argument in Regina. Now, this comes after a lawsuit from two of our councillors in Regina against our city manager. So let's dive into the details on this. Dan LeBlanc and Andrew Stevens, they filed a court application against the Regina city manager, saying that administration didn't follow through with a vote that was done. I believe this was back in June. I don't have the exact date, but it was June or July. They were talking about how they're going to address homelessness. Now, there wasn't any specifics involved with that. They just said, yes, we want to allocate funds to help the homeless in 2023. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to have followed through, so they decided to actually file an injunction and bring courts involved with this and take legal action. Now, Mayor Sandra Masters says that this legal action is unnecessary as there was no specific details involved in that action and that vote. 2023, we got to wait to see what happens with our homelessness in the city. I'm hoping that we do start using some of these empty units that are all over the city for those who need them the most so that they're not stuck out in the cold. For the first time ever in Saskatchewan, a civil revenge porn case has finally resulted in a court awarding a woman $160,000 after her former partner shared intimate images of her online. Now, the guy's name is Dalen Heidel, and he pled guilty. He was sentenced to jail time for this. He distributed photos and videos of the person who did call for legal action on pornographic websites such as Pornhub. Now, back in 2018, Saskatchewan changed the rules, essentially, and the province's Privacy Act, stating that anyone who is a victim of revenge porn can take legal action, so this woman will be receiving that money. This is a huge win for so many people who have so many times dealt with these types of injustices and had their personal things that they thought were private between a partner wind up public. Before you start shaming, let's remember these were partners. They thought that this was going to be private things. They thought that these were going to be kept intimately. Unfortunately, someone decided to be a part of the revenge porn side of things and share these images. So much deserved that this woman got the money that she definitely has a right to. And finally, did you get your flu shot yet? Go get your flu shot. Oh my God, Saskatchewan. We are not doing well right now. We are seeing incredibly high flu rates. On top of that, our doctor rates are not looking any better, but you can go into pharmacies and you can go and get your flu shot. Amongst 1/3 of all flu tests in the province are coming back positive. That's from the Public Health Agency of Canada. They say that kids under the age of 4 years old currently have the highest rates of hospitalization due to influenza as well. This is absolutely terrifying for anyone who does have children. So it's so important to go get those shots and make sure that your kids are protected. Uptake here in Saskatchewan as well as Alberta and Manitoba are reporting lower than normal flu shot uptake. And I get it. I know we're all a little tired of getting jabs in the arms, but to protect the kids so that they're not stuck in a hospital, A 4-year-old being stuck in a hospital, they don't deserve that. We've been through a pandemic at this point. We know what we need to do. We know what science dictates we need to do. The best thing we can do is help protect the kids and our senior citizens who are also very much vulnerable from the flu by going and getting our vaccines. Get your flu shot.
She's the friend you should never sit next to at a funeral. You're listening to The Sask Show with your host, Lindsay May. With Lindsay May.
Ah, yes, the Freedumbers. They're coming back. They never really went anywhere, but they've been dealing with a lot of court cases lately because, a lot of the stuff they did was illegal. And now the Freedumb Convoy 2.0 is expected to return to Ottawa in 2023. February is when they're planning for this. Actually, February 17th to the 21st. They wanted to make sure they weren't doing it on the day of love, right? So they're going to take some time to go back to the nation's capital and complain about something. No, still not entirely sure what they're complaining about, but the organizer, who I refuse to name because he doesn't deserve that kind of recognition, he was arrested on February 20th of this year in Ottawa because as police were clearing the occupation, it was gridlocking the city and everything. He was facing charges of mischief, of obstructing property, as well as disobeying a lawful court order and obstructing a peace officer. He was released under the condition that he never returns to Ottawa. And now he's going back to Ottawa. So, oh boy, I hope you get some serious time for this one, you dum-dum. This is a story that's coming out of New Jersey, and it is the most heartwarming thing ever. There's a young man, 19 years old. His name is Devin Bonagera, and he met an 81-year-old grandmother. Her name is Nola Carpenter, and Nola Carpenter works at one of the local Walmarts in New Jersey. He saw her sitting there, and in the break room, she looked absolutely exhausted. Now, Devin is one of the people who, third-party contractor who comes in and helps with deliveries, and he saw poor Nola sitting there and asked her about it, and he said, "Life shouldn't be this hard." After posting a video of Nola sitting in the break room looking absolutely exhausted, people started flooding in with comments saying, "Let's get a GoFundMe going." Well, they did. And that GoFundMe blew up. In 24 hours, they've raised an exceptional amount of money, $110,000 for Nola. And she said, "This is absolutely incredible. This is going to help so much. It's not going to completely pay off my mortgage, but we're so close." After Devin found out that she needed more money, it wasn't good enough for him. He went back to the GoFundMe. He went back to people with an update saying, "Hey, Nola needs more cash to be able to retire." She wound up with $180,000. Now, Nola, being such an honorable woman and knowing how hard it is to get help over the Christmas holidays, she says she plans on working until the end of this year through the Christmas season, and then she's going to be kicking back and enjoying some retirement. Much deserved, Nola, and way to go, young man, for doing something so incredible for someone who clearly needed a little extra help over the holiday season and for the rest of her life to be able to finally sit down and enjoy. 81 years old, them feet deserve to be propped up in a pillow. You enjoy, Nola.
You're listening to The Sask Show with your host, Lindsay May.
Science rules.
Gotta love science, especially when it is advancing healthcare. And something in our province is doing just that. Up in Saskatoon, they hands down have the coolest robot ever. It's actually a robotic arm in one of the hospitals. First of its kind for the province. And doctors are now operating with this robot arm. It's already performed just over 24 surgeries. Now, these procedures include some things like removal of the prostate gland, surgery to remove a kidney, as well as removing blockages from kidneys, things like that. Really, really delicate procedures that they're doing with this robotic arm. It's called the Da Vinci Surgical System, but it has a nickname, and its nickname is Daryl. Now, this is really cool because Daryl is actually in honor of Merlis Belcher's late son. and it was funded by the St. Paul's Hospital Foundation Capital Campaign, which included a $1.1 million gift from the Merrill Belcher family and then $1 million from the government of Saskatchewan. So together they were able to make this happen and able to provide this incredible piece of science and technology to assist people with surgeries in our province. Now, there are plans to actually expand on this as well. They want to work with this for gynecology, oncology, and thoracic surgeries. This is a game changer for our province. So thank you so much for that donation. Gotta shout out the Belcher family once again. And I can't wait to see what else Daryl, the robot, is going to be doing for our province.
Just out for a rip, are you, bud?
You want to go out for a rip? You want to do something Christmassy? We got you covered because it's going to be December next weekend and you can finally enjoy Christmas stuff without people being upset about the fact that you're enjoying Christmas stuff. We have Boney M heading to the Connexus Art Center on December 4th. And actually, Liz Mitchell is going to be a part of this too. Liz, Jamaican-born singer who moved to Britain, and she's most famous for being the voice behind Boney M as well. She's a beloved disco and reggae artist as well, so if you're looking for some incredible Christmas music in Regina, you can go check that out on December 4th. But maybe you're up closer to Saskatoon and you're looking for something else to be a part of. This is really neat. It's the Bassment in Saskatoon, Sunday, December 4th. Once again, starts at 2 p.m. A classic Christmas. Now, these are two guys, Winterger and Janowski. Now, he's a plumber by day and a vocalist by night. And Trevor and a music teacher friend, Martin Janowski, are teaming up to present this performance of Christmas and seasonal classics. So you can check out a very unique situation from two people in the community who just want to spread some holiday cheer. Once again, that's on December 4th. So you got lots of time to get the Christmas wrapping done, some baking done, and then go enjoy yourself a show. If there is anything else that is going on, feel free to share it on the Facebook page. I know I'm not going to be back in time for Christmas to be able to provide any updates, but if ever there's more events that are happening, post them in the comments below on any of the videos or any of the podcast episodes, and we'll be able to share that with everyone else so that people have eyes on events that are coming up for December here in Saskatchewan.
You're listening to The Sask Show with your host, Lindsay May.
And that's it for episode 10 of The Sask Show. As always, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thanks for making this such a great success. I love hearing the comments from you guys. I really appreciate the feedback you have. And as always, if ever you have something that's coming up, I will be back in the new year with more content and hopefully doing some more interviews and doing some more Saskcast with people. If you want to be part of the Saskcast, you want to come on the show and talk about something, whether you're an artist, whether you're just a personal figure in the city and you have something to say, feel free to do so by getting in touch with me, TikTok, Instagram, wherever that may be, and join in on The Sask Show. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2023.
Thanks for listening. Follow us online at TheSaskShow.ca.